So the magic number that you need to keep in mind, and the best way to illustrate this is with children's pens, is 323. That is the amount of seats that a party needs to cobble together to win a majority in the House of Commons, and that's partly because of a few MPs from Northern Ireland who don't take up their seats. If anyone can get to 323, they have a majority with which they can govern. The difficulty is how they get to 323. And if we look at the latest polling, then we can make some estimates. The Conservative Party, here in blue, they're going to get to, the polling suggests, around about 280 seats. So let's say this is the Conservative bloc of MPs in Parliament. They're in blue. 280, obviously short of 323. The latest polling suggests that the Labour Party may come in a little bit below that, around about 270, something like that, 268, 270. Obviously also still short of that magic 323 number. Now, the Liberal Democrats, currently in coalition government with the Conservatives, the polls suggest will do worse than they did last time around, and the latest numbers have them coming in at around 25 seats. Now, bear in mind that the current coalition leaders, the Conservatives, 280 plus 25 would make 305. So you can see that we're already coming up short in terms of the current coalition government. Now, UKIP are obviously knocking around this election, the anti-EU, anti-immigration party, but we think they're only going to get maybe 2 seats, 1, 2 or 3 seats. So add that in with those two, and with the Conservatives and with the Liberal Democrats, and we're still some way off a viable coalition. The very interesting thing in this election has been the rise of the Scottish nationalists, the SNP. We think they will get over 50 seats. So 50 odd seats for the SNP, you'll see that if you add that to the Labour total, you come up with a very viable Commons majority. The complication being that the Labour leader Ed Miliband has said that he will not do any deals with the SNP. He will not go into government with them. He's even ruled out any kind of agreement in a confidence and supply type arrangement in which the SNP would back some of his votes in Parliament. So that means that at the moment, as things stand, the Labour leader Ed Miliband is saying he would forfeit the chance to become Prime Minister, forfeit the chance at Downing Street, because he wouldn't want to work with the Scottish nationalists, whose whole mission statement revolves around breaking up the United Kingdom. So you'll see that it's actually quite hard in many circumstances to come up with some kind of viable coalition government, and that's why some people are predicting that we may see another election this year. Now, of course, we're not that far away. If the polls are wrong, let's say that the Tories get another 20 seats than we expect, so they get 300, then maybe we're getting closer to a coalition. But there are plenty more complications. One of the extra complications is that the leader of the Liberal Democrats, Nick Clegg, may lose his own parliamentary seat. If that happens, even if there is a viable Conservative Liberal Democrat coalition, you may have the Liberal Democrats fighting a leadership campaign at the very same time as working out a coalition deal with the Conservatives. It may well be that whoever rises to the top of the Liberal Democrats doesn't want to work with the Conservatives, and so you can see that we have very many situations in which putting this coalition government together is going to be very, very hard indeed.